Have you ever met someone new, heard their name clearly, and then forgotten it 1 minute later? Have you ever sat in an important meeting, waited for your turn to speak, and suddenly lost the main points you wanted to share? Or have you ever read a whole page of a book, only to realize you remember almost nothing? If this happens to you, it does not mean your memory is broken. In many cases, your memory is simply untrained. Most people try to remember things in the weakest way possible. They repeat a name again and again, reread the same paragraph, or highlight sentences and hope the information will stay. But repetition without strategy is often not enough. Today, our brains are overloaded. Messages, emails, meetings, short videos, and endless notifications are all competing for attention. At the same time, many of us learned memory in school as a simple process. Repeat, take a test, and then forget. But the brain does not remember best through dry repetition. It remembers what is vivid, emotional, meaningful, and connected to something familiar. That is why you may still remember the lyrics of a song from years ago, but forget what you read last night. A song has rhythm, melody, feeling, and often a memory of a time or place. It gives your brain many hooks to hold on to. Plain information by itself has very few hooks. Poor memory can cost more than we think. When you forget names, you may miss chances to build stronger relationships. When you forget details, people may think you are careless or unprepared. When you reread the same material over and over, you waste time and energy. But when your memory improves, life becomes easier. You can remember meeting points, speak with more confidence, study faster, and use what you learn more effectively. So what is the practical method? It is called visualization and association. Instead of trying to remember information as plain words, you turn it into a clear mental picture and connect it with something you already know. Your brain loves images, stories, movement, emotion, and unusual scenes. The stranger the picture is, the easier it is to remember. For example, imagine you meet someone named Baker. If you only repeat, Baker, 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 the name may disappear quickly. But if you picture that person wearing a huge white chef's hat and carrying a mountain of fresh bread, the name becomes much easier to recall. If you meet someone named Rose, imagine bright red roses growing out of her hair. It sounds silly, but that is exactly why it works. Your brain notices what is unusual. This method also works for learning. Suppose you are studying the word hippocampus, a part of the brain connected with memory. Instead of staring at the word, imagine a giant hippo walking across a campus with a backpack full of books. That funny image gives your brain something concrete to hold. The reason is simple. Your brain is highly visual. When you change abstract information into pictures, you use the brain in a way it naturally understands. The more ways you encode information, the more paths your brain has to find it later. If you only remember the sound of a word, the memory is weak. But if you connect it with an image, a feeling, and a story, the memory becomes much stronger. Now let's make it useful in daily life. First, pay attention. You cannot remember something you never truly noticed. When someone tells you their name, stop thinking about what you will say next. Look at the person, listen carefully, and repeat the name once in a natural way. Second, create a picture. Turn the name, idea, or detail into an image. If the name is Lily, imagine a giant lily flower on the person's head. If the name is Mark, imagine him carrying huge markers that draw colorful lines everywhere. Do not worry about being realistic. Memory likes exaggeration. Third, review quickly. Later that day, spend less than 1 minute recalling the images. Lily had the giant flower. Mark had the colorful markers. This short review is powerful because recalling information strengthens it. Fourth, use the method everywhere. For a speech, turn each key point into a picture and connect the pictures into a story. For a new language, link new words with funny images. For a shopping list, imagine a cow in your kitchen giving you milk, eggs balancing on its horns, and bread flying out of the toaster like a rocket. Ridiculous. Yes. Memorable. Absolutely. Try this for the next 7 days. Each day, choose 3 things: 1 name, one idea you are learning, and one everyday task or item. Turn each one into a vivid image, connect it to something familiar, and review it at night for 1 minute. The key message is this: you do not have a bad memory. You may just be using the wrong method. Your brain is an image-making, story-loving machine. Stop depending only on boring repetition. Start using visualization and association. When you train your memory in the way your brain was designed to work, learning becomes faster, recall becomes easier, and confidence begins to grow. Like and subscribe for more cognitive insights. Have a nice day!